Hi, my loves, and welcome to your Cosmic Weather Report for the week ahead. Now, last week was a really deep dive into yourself, which asked you to really begin to know and own and claim much more of your worth and your power. And this week now really continues that. We get a lot of big Venus energy this week. So it's almost like last week showed you where you needed to claim and own a little bit more of it. And now this week asks you to really begin to embody and own it and step into it and really make the necessary changes that last week perhaps showed you that you need to make. So we've got quite a big kind of energetic week. Let me take it for you bit by bit. Our week starts on Monday, our Astro Week, with the last quarter moon in Cancer. Now, the last quarter moon is the part of the lunar cycle where we really begin to release, shed and let go of what we don't want to take into the next cycle with us. So it's that real moment of awareness of what that full moon illuminated for us, what we were shown, and therefore what it is that we're really drawing a line in the sand around, like, no more, I'm not taking this forwards with me. Now, what's really interesting is on this same day, Venus is going to move into Libra. So this energy all kind of combines in. Venus moving into Libra is going to bring balance back into your relationships, particularly a relationship with yourself. But what Venus and Libra can show us or take us into is where there is people pleasing or self-sacrifice in order to be in a relationship where you need to be a different version of yourself to be able to stay there, or agree with things you don't to be able to stay there, or where you have to lose or abandon parts of yourself in order to be in relationship. And the last quarter moon in Cancer is going to be this really big energy, especially off the back of last week, that says you really now need to start to honor yourself and your intuition and the little niggles within that's saying this isn't right, that's not right, and your worth, and begin to really now let go of what no longer serves, especially when it comes to those relationships in your life. So those boundaries that maybe need to be set, the conversations that need to be had, the places where you're going to give a little bit less of yourself to, the people you're going to give a little bit less of yourself to. This is a real day of starting as you mean to go on through the week and taking all that you learned from last week and really now honoring yourself, honoring your relationship with yourself as your primary relationship, because every other relationship in your life comes from the one you have with yourself. And so if you know and own and love and trust and respect yourself, relationships in your life are very different when you're not seeking those things from outside of you and therefore abandoning, morphing, losing part of yourself to try to find that worth or value or trust or respect or love outside of you. When you have that within you and you can come into a relationship as a whole, complete version of you, relationships are very, very different. When you can show up in any kind of relationship as all of you, relationships are very, very different. So the start of this week says, make the relationship with yourself your primary relationship, and in that, honor yourself, what you want, what you need, what you desire, what those little intuitive niggles are around what needs to change, and really now let go of the people pleasing, let go of the self-sacrificing, let go of the self-abandoning, let go of the looking outside of you, let go of the version of you that you have to be in certain relationships, and just come back into that deep relationship with self. Now, this is going to really continue the day after on Tuesday, when we get Venus again. Venus will trine Uranus, sit opposite Neptune, and then on the same day, Pluto stations direct. So first of all, the Venus energy. As Venus trines Uranus, this is going to say to you or ask you to be in deep authenticity and integrity in your relationships, to really allow your truest self to be seen in relationships. Remember, I think we touched on this last week. No one can ever be in a true relationship with you unless they know who you are. And so the deepest relationships you're ever going to have in your life are going to be with those people who fully know and see you in your hardest times, in your best of times, the worst of you, the best of you, when you can show up as all of you. But that starts with you owning and knowing and loving all of you, right? But they're going to be the deepest relationships you'll ever have. So with Venus meeting Uranus, you're going to see where there isn't authenticity in certain relationships, and you're going to be asked to really now allow your truest self to be seen. Yes, that might mean initially a few people fall away, a few relationships fall away. Maybe you're still friends with people from many, many years ago, and they're still friends with a version of you that doesn't exist anymore. And you have to go back into that version of you to be able to hang out with them. And there's a bit of you that when you leave feels a bit icky because you're like, oh God, that's not who I am anymore, or not how I want to spend my time anymore, or not what I want to be doing anymore. And so there's going to be a real call into truth in relationships. And with Venus opposing Neptune, this is going to be even further established, because with Venus opposite Neptune, you're going to be able to see through any illusions in relationships. So where have you been seeing what you want to see in a relationship? Where have you been living under an illusion, those little rose tinted glasses on, of seeing a version of them that you want to see? Where are you in relationship with the version of someone that you see that they can be, but it's not actually who they are? And yet you stay because you can see this version of them that they could possibly... Where are you dating someone's imagined future version that you can see in them, but they're not quite there yet? And that's not to say that we don't support people through growth and things, but what I am saying is, where is there an illusion? Where have you been telling yourself for 5 years this is going to change? Where have you been continuing to put up with behavior that you don't really like or deserve, or people not showing up for you, or taking a long time to get back to you, whatever it might be? Where has there been an illusion where you've been seeing something that you want to see that's not there? You know, again, we make the excuses why someone's not messaged back, or why someone's let you down for the 4th time in a week, or why someone hasn't ever done this or that. Where is the illusion? And you're not going to be able to make excuses for other people's behavior anymore. So you're not going to be able to like excuse any bad behavior, or go, oh, well, it's all right because the thing is, or you're going to really be able to see through those illusions. Now, just a little side note, on this day as Venus opposes Neptune, this is also a beautiful day if you're looking for love and relationship, to dream of what it is that you want. So to really put your order into the universe of, okay, I'm ready, I'm open, I'm looking. What the universe will first of all say is, are you in right relationship with yourself, or are you looking out there to fill any void? Let's complete them in here first. Are you the version of you that you want to be in relationship with? Let's clear all that up. And then if we're there, put that cosmic order into the universe. Let the universe know, I am ready to love. I am looking for love. This is what I want, need, deserve, and desire. And I'm putting my order out there. So it's a beautiful day to kind of put that order in. Now, on this same day, Pluto is going to station direct. Pluto has been retrograde since May of this year. And Pluto is going to station direct for the first time in our lifetime in Aquarius. In our last Pluto retrograde, Pluto stationed direct at 29 degrees of Capricorn. This is our first stationary direct in Aquarius. So this is furthermore, all the energy this week is about being your authentic self. As Pluto stations direct in Aquarius, we are being asked to become more of our authentic selves, to become more liberated, more free, more in alignment with who we are, more in alignment with what we want, more open to who we are. And this energy is going to really blend into Wednesday, when Venus will trine Pluto. So Pluto is going to station direct and ask us to begin to really move forwards with the energies of Pluto in Aquarius, which is a lot around liberation, freedom, a rebirth portal where we get to really begin to step into who we came here to be and the life that we came here to live. And as Venus trines Pluto then on Wednesday, you're going to be asked to begin to embody and own your own power, and to really allow more of that unique self, and to really just be who you are. So as I mentioned at the start of this report, there's just going to be a greater desire to be authentically true to you, to no longer maybe follow the crowd, to no longer try to dim to fit in. There's a sense of, this will bring a feeling of almost rebellion, like a rebellious freedom that's like, I'm sick of just following along with that. And why is it that I do that? And why is it that I believe that? And why is it I just continue to allow that? And why is it that I believe that that's the way that it needs to be? I just want to break out and break free and do things the way I want to do them, and really just be me and be happy and live life, you know. No one else is going to live your life for you. So this is an energy of like, start to live the life that you want. Start to free yourself in many of the little ways that you can. And most of all, just begin to show up as authentically you. The more and more that we can do that, show up in our authentic truth, the more we can allow everyone else to do that. And as we are more in our authentic truth, we can even hold different opinions and things then as we all show up in our own truth. And so this is an embodiment now of no longer just saying, I'm taking back my power, but just like being in your power. If you're in your power, you don't need to say, I'm taking back my power. It just is. People will just know the boundary. They'll just know what they can and can't get away with. Those people will start to fall away who've been treating you in a certain way because they know they can't get away with it anymore. When you are in your power, that energy doesn't even come into your energy field because it just isn't allowed in there. It just isn't there. You're not here to be treated in any other way than what you know that you deserve. And so everything around you energetically shifts. So this is the day to really be in that sense of self and that sense of power. Now, this will continue on Friday then when the sun will square Jupiter. This brings optimism and opportunity and hopes and dreams and more of a desire to shine and more of a desire to expand and to realize, wow, I've been really limiting myself there. I've been really restricting myself there. I've really just been following along with that over there and like, I just want to expand into more. So there's going to be a real desire here to pursue your dreams, to go after what you want, to be more free. The only thing I will say, just again, because we are autumning, I think I warned you of this a little bit last week. Just be mindful that you don't take on more than you can handle at the moment. As things are beginning to slow down, just don't be like, yes. What we're doing now is planting seeds for the future. So this is a wonderful time to expand your vision and horizon for where you want to go and what seeds are we planting now? What are we doing now to ensure that what we want grows? But we're not taking on a million things right now and trying to do it all now. We're being very aware of this is the expanded vision and these are the seeds, and then these are how I tend to them to make sure it can grow rather than just wanting everything to grow now. Because sometimes even the joy of a garden is in watching like that. Those first little shoots when they come up out of the earth, they're beautiful, but we want everything now. But this expansion is an expansion of allow it to expand, allow it to be joyous and fun and exciting and curious and interesting and hopeful and optimistic as it expands, rather than just wanting it all to go at once, because then like we miss out on a lot of the joy in the journey of growth. And that then leads us to Saturday, where the sun will be opposite Chiron. And this is a beautiful time to look at the joy in your journey of growth. As the sun opposes Chiron, it's going to bring a deeper understanding of all of last week's work, where we went through a lot of our kind of wounding and things coming up and a lot of truth coming up and a lot of need to be in our truth. As the sun opposes Chiron, it brings a deeper understanding of your healing journey and how it's enabled you to be who you are today, how it's allowed you to grow, what it's taught you, what it showed you, how it has maybe expanded your edges. Because remember, expansion takes us out of our comfort zone. And that's why very often we shrink back in, because we're a bit like, oh, I'm scared of that. But expansion, and again, if we can take expansion kind of a little bit more slowly, not too slow, but it enables us to go, oh, okay, I'm doing it. And the sun opposite Chiron is going to show you where your journey's taken you. Now, the only thing I will say is there may be a tiny little test around the weekend to really see, are you in your worth and your power? Are you in your worth and power? Are you going to fold back into that comfort zone straight away? Are you going to self-abandon straight away? Are you going to people please straight away? Are you going to self-sacrifice straight away? Or are you now going to go through that little bit of discomfort it takes to hold a boundary, or to say no, or to not shrink, or to not give a part of you away, or to not abandon yourself in order to give to somebody else? Are you going to hold that discomfort and expand beyond that, so that then you've expanded into a more healed version of you and your growth journey continues? So there may be the little edges around the weekend that just push on your expansion, and this is where you expand beyond that little discomfort into this new version of you. I'm sending you so much love for the week ahead.